Have you been wondering how to make a puzzle book? Are you already making puzzles but would like to learn some new fun puzzle interiors? Well, today I'm going to do another puzzle book tutorial, so stick around. Hey Right Riders, Keith Wheeler here, and if you want to continue to get all the hints, tips, and tricks on how to make self-publishing easier, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and smash that little bell icon so you get alerted each and every time I put out new content. In a previous video, I talked about making puzzle books, and I even showed you how to make a few different puzzle types, hopefully leading to puzzles that sell well for you. Now, I've been selling puzzle books for over a year, and I've found them to be one of the most versatile and evergreen products that I've created to date. With that said, obviously I can't make you any guarantees as to how well your puzzle books will sell, but to help you as much as I can, today I'll be showing you a whole new set of fun puzzle pages. So I'm going to flip the screen around and we're going to start making more puzzles. Here we are in PowerPoint. The first thing I'm going to do is change the actual dimensions. I'm going to design, slide size, custom slide size, and just for consistency I'm going to make this 8.5 by 11. And I always pick ensure fit. There we go. I'm going to click in here. I'm going to hit Control A to select everything and delete. There we are. We have a clean slate to work with. The first thing we're going to work on is connect 4. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to insert a table, and I'm going to do a 5 by 5. There we go. You can adjust the size to whatever you want. So right now we'll just leave it here. I'm going to hit Control A. I'm going to go to borders, and I want all my borders. And I'm going to go to shading, and I'm going to make the shading just like a light gray. With the tabletop game, players are going to put their colored chips in open spots. So in order to do that, we need circles. So we're going to insert, shape, get this oval shape. See if that looks about right. Oh gosh, I'm good. Looks about right. I'm going to use my arrow keys just to get that as centered as I can. And maybe one more spot up. There we go. I'm going to copy that, paste it, Control C, Control V, and I'm just going to drag it over here. And these little red lines, if you see them pop up, they will tell you when you're lined up with the previous one. I'm going to highlight the two. Control C, Control V. And then I'm going to do one more. And obviously you're going to want to take your time. Make sure these are all centered. When you're done with your first row, you just highlight over all of them. Control C, Control V. There you go, you got a whole nother row. Alright, so then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to highlight all of these. I'm going to right click inside them, and I'm going to change the fill to white. There we go. The next thing we're going to do is called Obstruction, and it's probably one of the easiest ones to set up. You're just going to insert a table. By default, I usually do a 6 by 6. There really is no set size to do. I will say that if you make both the height and the width odd numbers, it actually makes the game a little easier for whoever's the first player. So it doesn't really make it as fair. So I always make it even by even. Highlight all, Control A. I'm going to go to shading, and I'm just going to put no fill. And then I'm going to go to borders and make all borders. Since that's the last thing I did, it was a default, but I could just go to here and click all borders. This is literally the obstruction board. The important part is to let the person know, and this goes for all the games, is make sure that you put instructions on how to play. So real quick, I'm going to show you how to play. You usually play with either X's and O's, or you can play with initials, however you want to do it. I'm going to do X's and O's. I'm going to put an X here. And the whole point of obstruction is the next player cannot put anything within this area. There has to be a 1 square border between one opponent and the other. So the person doing the O can come in here and do this. That's completely fine because there's a gap. So then now the person doing the X can't go anywhere around here. So then he can put an X, let's say here, and then the O can't go anywhere around here. So then they can do an O here if they want, and so on. So that is how you play Obstruction. As far as creating it, it's literally like I showed you, it's just a 6x6 or 8x8 or however size you want to do table. That's literally it. Maybe go in and insert just a line right here, and we're going to make it black. Copy, paste. If I wanted to go a little bit further, I could insert a text box right here and just put like player 1, that, paste it, player 2, and there we go. That's Obstruction. Next game up is called Bulls and Cows. You may have also heard it called Mastermind. And again, it's going to be another table. We're just going to do let's just 6x8 for now. The number of rows are completely up to you. First thing we're going to do is Control A, and we're going to do no shading, and we're going to put all the borders in. Okay. These we're going to go to Home. We're going to make them centered, and we want to align them in the middle because we're going to put some text in here. Let's change that font color to black. All right, so we're going to do bulls, cows, and then these we're going to group together. I just highlight them all. I'm going to right click, merge cells, and this is going to be called guesses. And the first thing I want to do is I would definitely want to change these fonts. Just do Arial black. Let's do a shape fill. Let's give it here's how bulls and cows work. Is you have a player that's not guessing. That player comes up with a 4-digit number. The person that's guessing is going to guess a 4-digit number, and they're going to put the 4 digits in this box. The person that selected the number is going to tell them how many bulls and how many cows. Now, a bull is a correct number in the correct position. A cow is a correct number, but in the wrong position. So let's say I had a number that was 1111. Okay, so they would come in here and they would guess 1, 2, 3, 4. And I would tell them that they had 1 bull because they had 1 right number and in the right spot, and 0 cows. And then they would come in here and let's say they would do 5, 6, 7, 8. I would tell them that they had 0 bulls and 0 cows, and so on. And that is how you set up a bulls and cows game. Now, the number of rows that you have is going to basically be the number of guesses that they're allowed. I usually will do as many as I can fit on a page. I'm going to insert below. I'm just going to do probably 1 more, because then at the bottom we want to do a score, because the person that wins is the one that can get the number in the least amount of guesses. Insert a shape, we'll do a line there, make it black, and then we'll insert a text box, and we'll just do total guesses. There we go, bulls and cows. Next up, Pong Hau K'i, which is a lot easier to create than it is to say. So we're going to insert another table. We're going to do 3x3. Just going to stretch this out a bit. So the first thing we're going to do is Control A, and we want to do no shading, no fill. We're going to go in here and we want to do outside borders, except I'm going to click on these and I want to get rid of that top border. Okay, so that's the start. Next thing I'm going to do is go in this very far right top corner. I'm going to go to borders and I'm going to do the diagonal up border. There we go. I'm going to go in this cell and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to hit Control Y just to do it again. And then this one and 1 more Control Y. All right, we'll go to this top one. Probably already guessed what I'm going to do. I'm going to do diagonal down. Or click here. Control Y. Here. Control Y. There we go. And then we need to go in and we need to insert a shape. And we're going to insert a circle or an oval, and we'll make it into a circle. Looks about good. Right click on the inside. I'm going to make the fill black. Okay, I'll just do no outline. That's a bit big. Now I want it to stay proportionate, so I'm going to grab this corner one and shrink it just a bit. That looks about right. I'm going to take it and I'll put it right here, right over that spot. I'm going to Control C, Control V, and put one down here. Control V, put one over here. Again, those lines will tell you when you're lined up. I'm going to Control V again. I'll put this bad boy over here. Control V, it goes here. And there we go. And that is Pong Hau K'i. And basically the way it's played is the players will each get 2 chips. You can either create chips that they can cut out, or you can just tell them to use coins. And what they'll do, here we'll create some chips real quick just to show you what I'm talking about. I want it to be a little bigger. Okay. So we'll do 2 blue ones. And then let's make this one red. Control C, Control V. Okay. So the way you play is you take your button and you put it anywhere on the board to begin with. Okay. So the blue goes, and then the red wants to put it here maybe, and then the blue goes again and he wants to put his here, let's say, and then the red wants to put their last one here. Okay. And then each person goes and alternates moving. And the key is you cannot jump over each other. You move from one dot to the other. And whoever cannot move, the other person wins. So if I move the red one here, and then blue goes and he moves here, and then red goes and they move here, and then blue goes and they move here, something like that, red can't go. So blue would win. And that's how you play Pong Hau K'i. So I'm going to delete these. And because I'll be using either chips that they cut out or coins or something like that, they can play this game over and over again. I will want to probably move this over a little bit just so it's centered on the page. So I'm going to insert another line. Go here, make it black, copy, paste. Just like I did before, I can insert a text box, put it here, make that player 1, let's say it's centered, Control C, Control V, this player 2, and then they can keep track of their score. Bonus tip, now if you really want to sell more puzzle books, then you need to make your puzzle books more unique than everyone else's. So how do you do this? With custom games. Games specifically geared towards your niche. So if, for example, you're doing a puzzle book for golfers, then maybe you want to make a custom golf game where the user will roll a die or dice to see what happens. So let me show you how to make your own custom die template. Go to Insert. We're going to do another table. We're going to do a 3x4. And the size of this doesn't matter at this point. We're going to go in here, Control A, and I'm going to make no shading. And then I'm going to put in all the borders for now. So just do all borders. There's different variations that you can do as far as like the template, but I'm just going to do the simplest way that I know of. I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to go to borders. I'm going to get rid of the left border. I'm going to get rid of the top border. And I'm going to click in these two. I'm going to hold Shift. I'm going to get rid of the bottom borders, the inside borders, and the left border. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing here, but instead of getting rid of the left, I'm going to get rid of the right border. I'm going to get rid of the top border. And then here, hold Shift, get rid of bottom border, get rid of the right border, get rid of the inside borders. There we go. There's our generic template. Now I'll go to layout. I typically will do 2.5 by 2.5. Right now I'm going to do 4 by 4. It all depends on the amount of text you're going to have actually on the face of the die. Now, if you want to put in some tabs so people know what they can glue or tape, you can just insert a shape, and you can go down here and you're going to find trapezoid. And let's just do the top one first. Just create a little trapezoid, put it into place, and I like to make it a different color, so I'm going to right click. I'm going to change the fill to probably this gray, just so it's clear what it's for. And then I can just Control C, Control V, bring that over here, use this and adjust it. Obviously that's too big, so I'm just going to grab this corner arrow and shrink it a bit. There you go. Use my arrows to move it up a hair. Perfect. Control C, Control V. And you can put these wherever you want people to connect them. So, and then you can just go in here, highlight all these. You're going to make the text whatever text you want. Let's just say Arial. We'll make the 24-point font. Make the color of the text black, centered, middle aligned, and then I literally can just type in here whatever I want to be on the face of my dice. So for this one I can do move ahead, and then this one over here I can put move back, whatever, however I want my text to read. And it looks like these are, yeah, this one's bold, so we'll want to be consistent. All these bold as well. There's how you make your custom dice. So how easy was that? Now, when you put your puzzle book together, if you're going to include custom dice, you want to make sure that the back page is blank. This way, when the user cuts out the dice, they're not cutting into a puzzle or a solution to a puzzle. Now, perhaps you're looking for a few traditional puzzle book pages to include in your new puzzle book. Classic puzzle interiors like tic-tac-toe, hangman, and the dot game, with a few new puzzles sprinkled in. Then you're going to want to check out this link right here, and you'll see the previous puzzle book tutorial that I did. Or you can check out this video that YouTube has lined up and they think you'll love. I'll catch you in the next video, and remember to write right.